Einen wunderschönen herzlich willkommen zurück zu Blues and Bullets. Wir haben in der letzten Folge Boccherini gefunden, den Meisterfälscher, in einer etwas sehr angespitzten Situation und Hand abgerissen, ein Glas, Trinkglas ins Fleisch reingeschnitten, Zähne entfernt, Augen entfernt. Also keine besonders gute Situation. Und wir gucken mal, wie wir diese Sachen jetzt auf der Pinnwand hier zusammenbekommen. Wir wählen erstmal aus. So, und wir haben jetzt hier die Möglichkeiten.
Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive. Maybe the body parts can
Was haben wir hier?
tore Boccherini's hands off.
Hand abgerissen.
Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back.
Das ist so unnatürlich. Das andere sind natürlich, ich nehme mal das. Nein, ich nehme nicht das. Okay.
Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccherini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them?
Ja, mit dem Glas nicht hier. Okay, also, die Augen. Wir müssen uns jetzt umsehen, wie wir oder womit die Augen entfernt worden sind. Fass bloß nichts an, Kumpel. Aha, eine riesige Blutlachenspur.
The blood comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall.
Boah. Hier gab's einen Kampf.
The evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer?
Das finden wir noch heraus. Aber zumindest kam von außen. Die Scherben sind nämlich alle.
Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy. Or maybe it was thrown extremely hard.
Hm. Hier ist ein Glas. Vielleicht ist er ins Glas reingefallen. Ja.
Fingernails scratched the wood.
Hätte man jetzt die Finger, könnte man es nachgucken.
Blood ran like water.
Aber das kann doch nicht nur er alleine gewesen sein. Ich bitte euch. Hier ist das Glas.
A perfectly circular dent, as if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt, around 4 inches in diameter.
Das ist das mit dem Glas, um das reinzurammen oder so. Vielleicht stand es drauf und er ist nämlich mit dem Rücken komplett auf dieses Glas gefallen. Was haben wir hier? Eine Uhr.
What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off?
Gar nicht. Das war an der Hand von dem Opfer. Und als die Hand abgerissen wurde, ist natürlich die Uhr auch abgefallen.
Blood everywhere.
Eben. Die wurde nicht abgemacht.
Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken?
Noch was.
This was opened recently.
Und deine Fingerabdrücke sind drauf.
Smells of whiskey.
Viele Hinweise.
Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside. There's something under there.
Eine Waffe.
Up under there.
Ist noch voll.
Not one round fired. It must have happened fast.
Okay. Letztendlich, wenn er wirklich was damit zu tun hatte, wusste er zu viel.
What is it with Italians and olives? They lap those things up like caviar.
Gegessen war auch gerade worden.
Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage I don't think Boccherini's too worried about that.
Da lag ich dann falsch.
4 glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine.
Er hatte also Besuch.
I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one.
Pinot 1952. Nicht aufgegessen.
Leftover lasagna, and it looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks? I'll never understand what the deal is with them and cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccherini had company for dinner.
Richtig. Der aber bestimmt nicht durchs Fenster kam, sondern irgendjemand anderes. Da fehlt ein Messer.
One knife's missing, the biggest one.
Könnte die blutige Sauerei erklären, die wir hier haben.
Shut from the inside.
Das hat er durch Anlehnen rausgefunden. Super. So, dann schauen wir uns mal weiter um. In die andere Richtung. Wir brauchen noch Hinweise.
Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the 2 of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen.
Okay. Vielleicht ist der Täter auch noch da. Ein Löffel.
Blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Drogen. Wir gucken erstmal hier hinten. Das andere ist zu offensichtlich. Die Garage. Schönes Auto.
Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini.
Das sieht schon mal lustig aus.
Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way.
Das wird ein fröhliches Raten werden.
Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo.
Na, wen haben wir
The
denn?
man's cigarette case.
Eine Zigarette.
OB.
2.
One of the Boccherini clan?
Gut, und jetzt untersuchen wir noch diesen Tatort, oder was es da sein soll. Das hier. Da ist die Hand.
Oh,
Beide.
shit. I should have stayed in my diner.
Wer macht denn sowas? Nee, ich muss die jetzt nicht auseinander machen, oder? Bitte. Zumindest ist keine Leichenstarre drauf. Da sind die Zähne drin. Ich hasse es nicht.
Are these teeth from the body? Well, at least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less.
Oh. Sorry, da wird mir echt anders, wenn ich sowas sehe.
What is that?
Das sieht rituell aus.
Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in?
Ich glaube, wir sollten unsere Pinnwand jetzt mal... Aber wo die Augen sind, wissen wir immer noch nicht, ne? Wir gehen mal die Fakten durch. Begegnung, ja. Wir haben...
Dirty plates, glasses and silverware from a dinner for two.
Nein.
A pistol, fully loaded.
Ach so, Begegnung im Sinne von Überfall.
Pieces of glass from the window in the hall, found inside the house. A broken whiskey glass, found in the dining room.
Auch nicht.
An open bottle of whiskey. I'd say Boccherini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccherini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin?
Die Folter.
Two pools of blood. Two pools of blood. One on either side of the dining room table. Broken whiskey glass found in the dining room.
Nein, das ist nicht die Folter.
A blood-stained wristwatch with a glass broken and the strap fastened.
Ja, die Hände abgerissen.
A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. The bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his
Warum?
hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground.
Okay, das stimmt.
How did the body reach its current position?
Ein Lynchmord. Ist das nicht ein bisschen brutal für einen Lynchmord?
A door in the kitchen, locked. The trail of blood from the dining room to the hall. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini.
Nee.
A door in the corner. It opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen. Dirty plates, glasses and silverware. A broken whiskey glass.
Doch die
A door
Türen?
in the kitchen.
Nee.
A door in the corridor jammed.
Da haben wir noch keine weiteren Informationen. Wir gehen mal hier an den Strang.
A car
Auto.
with Vermont plates.
Und die
Initials
Zigarettenmarke.
OB on a cigarette case. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house.
Ja, das Essen zu
Dirty
zweit.
plates, glasses and silverware from it. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up?
Ja.
A teaspoon stained with blood and some
Ich würde sagen, ja.
a broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. What
Und
looks like
das.
the bottom of a broken glass. It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house?
Der ist im Haus.
A door
Zwar
in the
da.
corridor jammed shut. A door in the kitchen locked from the... One locked door could be a coincidence, but two locked doors which open onto the same room can't be.
Richtig.
Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
Lynchmord.
A sick altar of human flesh. Some kind of symbol. A teaspoon stained.
Nee. Ah, Moment mal. Aber der Löffel könnte für das Augen sein.
Stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid. The mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccarini's eyes.
Boah.
The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest two possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it?
Kult.
Some kind of symbol drawn in a sick altar of human flesh. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it?
Gute Frage. Wir haben fast alles gelöst, außer dem Lynchmord. Da finden wir bestimmt noch was, wenn wir den Zeugen haben. Wenn wir den Zeugen haben. Ach, hier ist noch was.
Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several.
Was ist das?
The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs.
Aus der Decke gerissen?
Boccarini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama.
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
Vorhin hat's aber nicht gebimmelt.
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Richtig.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me.
Mach die Tür auf.
Boccarini had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccarini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccarini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccarini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him through the corridor into the hall. He tore down the lamp, hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccarini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
Ja.
Yes.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more.
Stimmt.
What about the guest?
Right. Come with me. Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible, but you were close.
Hier ist jemand.
This must be Boccherini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.
Gut. Suche im Büro nach Hinweisen. Das werden wir auch tun. Und zwar in der nächsten Folge von Blues and Bullets. Ganz schön krasse, scheißkranke Folge, oder? Wenn ihr die auch krass fandet, dann gebt doch der Folge einen Daumen nach oben. Würde mich sehr freuen. Und schreibt in die Kommentare, ob ihr euch vorstellen könntet, dass sowas wirklich machbar ist. Also einfach die Handgelenke abreißen. Und das auch noch mit normaler, ich sag jetzt mal menschlicher Kraft. Möchte man darüber eigentlich diskutieren? Ich weiß es nicht. Schreibt's einfach. Und ja, Däumchen nach oben habe ich schon gesagt. Und wenn es euch im Allgemeinen gefällt, was hier auf dem Kanal passiert, und ihr habt es noch nicht getan, lasst doch einfach ein Abo da. Würde mich freuen. In diesem Sinne, bis zur nächsten Folge. Euer Firefox. Ciao.